You thought I wouldn't use my platform to get free stuff? You were wrong. Get subscribed to watch my sellout progress so I can become a real tech influencer. I've actually gotten more emails than I thought I would from companies asking me if I wanted to do videos about their products. Now, that's not really what this channel is about, so I've said no to all of them. This one was pretty hard to say no to. I think it's legitimately interesting. This is from Thermal Master. It's their Thor thermal camera. They emailed me asking me if I wanted a free thermal camera to make a video about. I didn't really exactly read the email except for the part where it said free thermal camera. And I replied, yes, please. I want a thermal camera. That sounds cool. Please send it. Please. So they said they wanted an honest review video, but they did send me this for free, so I can say what I want, but it's still like they sent me this for free. Make of that what you will. I'm going to be making thermal images. There's lots of reasons thermal cameras are useful. I specifically wanted one because they're good for computers and electronic stuff. Like, let's say you're building an electronics project and you're looking at a massive circuit board that has a faulted capacitor somewhere. It's short-circuited, using all the power and making stuff not work. You could spend hours with your multimeter testing stuff, get the oscilloscope out, figure out exactly what is going wrong. Or you can just point your thermal camera at it and find the capacitor that's heating up. Example, tell me which of these three capacitors is problematic. Okay, tell me now. Hint, it's that one. See, I told you it was that one. It definitely stands out a lot more when you're looking through the thermal camera. You can tell exactly which one is the problem. That got little bits of capacitor debris everywhere. These things are rated for 16 volts. I'm just gonna put them all at 30. I don't know why Thermal Master trusted me with testing their thermal camera. 90% of my content is experiments where I clearly don't know what I'm doing. Let's do more of that. Microwaves, they don't heat things evenly. We know this because 94% of whatever you put in here will still be cold. 1% will be perfectly cooked, and the last 5% will be the hottest, most burnt thing anyone has ever created. Let's visualize that. I'm going to microwave this Corsair power supply box. That actually shows up incredibly well. You can see all of the different hot and cold spots. It likes to heat up here and here. The whole thing's cooling down now, but you can see it kind of alternates on this side. There is some science to this, something standing wave patterns. I don't know. Let's point this thing at some computers. Remember the free computer? Now we can see it in thermal imaging. Clearly the hottest thing in here is that chip right there. I thought this was interesting too. This SSD is just standard SSD size because that's the format they come in, but the actual parts inside, yeah, they only take up a fraction of this shell. You can see it starts there to there, there's nothing, and then the actual circuit board is in this area. I took it apart and yeah, that's exactly what it looks like inside. That's the SSD, that's the actual board. If I take a look at this old monitor, you can see that it's edge lit from the top and bottom. The part of this monitor that actually heats up is the backlight stuff, and you can tell that is warm up there because it runs across the top and it runs across the bottom, but not on the sides. These are cold. I suppose I should actually go over the camera itself. Again, this is not an advertisement, so do your own research on how this compares to its competitors and the other thermal cameras in this price range. I have not used any other ones. I have no way of making comparisons to those, except for technical ones, but I don't want to read a bunch of specs out for you. This is just an overview of a tool that I think will be useful for future projects. I also did find downsides of this camera. Nothing too major, but for example, if you record stuff with it and then put that video into DaVinci Resolve, does not work at all. I don't know what's up with that. More likely to be a Resolve issue, but if you're planning to use this camera and import footage into Resolve, keep in mind you're gonna have to do something to it first. I just ran it through VLC's convert thing and then that made it work fine. The actual part of the camera you interface with here, not much to say about it really. It just kind of makes sense. The screen looks good, the interface and the buttons and stuff, it's all pretty self-explanatory. I didn't have any issues figuring it out. And that's coming from someone who has never used a thermal camera before. On the opposite side, you've got the actual sensor in the middle there with this shutter if you want to protect it when you're not using it. Down here is the regular just video camera. And then up here, there's a flashlight and a laser. I don't know why you need a laser on a thermal camera, but it's there if you want it, I guess. On the top, there's this protective cover thing which reveals a micro SD card slot. I've never actually bothered to take this SD card out of here because right next to it is a USB-C port. That's very nice. This port is how you charge the camera and also get your pictures and videos off of it onto like a computer, for example. It also does something that I didn't see in any of their marketing materials that I think is pretty cool. It will work as a webcam through the USB port in thermal mode. When I tested that, there was quite a bit of delay between real time and what showed up on the computer, but it's pretty cool that it has it anyway. The camera also comes with this very nice protective case you can put it in when you're done with it. Very nice. I should probably mention the price at some point. They have this on their website right now for $485, which is just so much cheaper than a lot of their competitors. I don't know how they're pulling that off. I think it was a FLIR thermal camera I was looking up to try and get a comparison. For something with similar specs to this from FLIR, it's like thousands of dollars, and this still had some specs that were better than that one. Again though, I did very limited research here. I'm just realizing they also include a braided USB-C cable. This is Type A to Type C. I have no idea at this point if this video comes across as a product review or just messing around with a thermal camera. Either way, I'm having fun. I guess if it is a review, I should have some kind of opinion on this thing. I have to say, I am impressed. Coming from someone who has never used a thermal camera before, I was able to take this thing out of its case, everything was intuitive, everything makes sense, and everything just worked. I'm happy with it. I think it's gonna be a super great tool for my future projects. I also just thought it was nice how solid and beefy this thing is, especially today when everything is plastic garbage now. Oh, I do have one more complaint though. The microphone. In the video recording mode, there is a microphone that records audio to put it in the video. It's really bad. It sounds awful and recorded super quiet. However, it was enough to have DaVinci Resolve sync my audio with this microphone, so I guess it's fine if you can do that, but it would be nice if it was just like a little bit better.
Wow, that shows up so much better than I thought it would.
When I was messing around with this thing, I also realized when you go through the view modes, there's the fuse that I've been using, there's pure just infrared IR thermal vision, and then there's just visible light like a regular camera. New vlogging camera. This doesn't have the flip around screen for vlogging, but luckily Thermal Master thought of that. You can control it from your phone. It is very cold out here. You might see a few snowflakes falling. First time this year. And yeah, new vlogging setup. I'm going to be making hourly content from now on with this setup. Today's content piece, tree is broken. And of course, since I've got my new fancy vlogging camera, we can just, at a moment's notice, switch it to thermal vision. Yeah, good luck daily vloggers. Watch out, nobody else has this technology in their vlogging camera. It's just underrated, right? It is kind of really cold out here though. I'm gonna go back inside. Obviously not the intended use case there. That regular video camera is really just for overlaying with the thermal camera to see what you're looking at. I thought it was kind of funny though. This is a different kind of video than I would usually make on this channel. If you liked it, hit the like button. If not, let me know in the comments down below. If you hated it, I will take that into consideration for if I ever want to make a video like this again. I can always go back to showing off Proxmox failover a few dozen more times. Anyways, get subscribed for the future sketchy server and computer content. Yeah, thanks for watching. Next video, next week.